On page 60, here's a new law that's a great one for you, particularly for you road riders. At speeds above 35 miles an hour, we've got a new law in Oregon that sets, I think, a great national standard. It says that a motorist, and this is ORS 811.065, must give us at least enough room when they pass us at those speeds so that if we fell into the vehicle lane, they would not hit us. I say kind of a revolutionary concept because, well, not only do most motorists not do it, but it's a new law, and in places that are sort of considering themselves forward-looking, like California, they only give the bicyclist 3 feet. Well, if you measure how far you are from the bottom of the tires to the top of your head or your helmet, it's oftentimes about 6 feet. That means that when you're rolling and getting passed by somebody going 35, they've got to give you that much space. And what it means also is that in the city where it's under 35, they don't have to give you that much space. But it's a good system because it allows the motorist to sight with you to imagine how much space they have to give you as they pass you, and for the police who watch somebody maybe get passed without enough space, it gives the cop an opportunity to say, that was absolutely not enough room for that bicyclist to fall over. So it is an aid to enforcement of the law. And for those of you who have law enforcement contacts, help the police learn about this new law, because this is a very important law for us. Most motorists do not get what it's like to be passed at 60 miles an hour by somebody who's like 3 feet or 2.5 feet away from us. All of those people who do that should have the experience of having to line up along the side of the road on the fog line while I drive one of our big farm trucks by them 2 feet away at 60 miles an hour to just feel the power. You know, feel the power. All the crap's flying around you. You know, you almost get sucked into the wheels. And if they could have that experience the next time they passed one of us on a rural 2-lane blacktop, they would think, ooh, I remember how that feels. I'm going to give him some room. Because the fact is that when a motorist is passing you and it's like a double yellow line, they can cross on the double yellow line to pass you. Why? Because it's not like a pass of a farm wagon or a horse trailer. It's passing of a vehicle that's sharing the same lane. And the law says that you can pass in a double yellow so long as you yield the right-of-way to motorists who are coming in the other direction if there's a condition in your lane that makes it necessary to do so. Why is it that Americans, unlike people in the rest of the world, when they're passing a bicyclist on a no passing, are like afraid that their tire is going to vaporize if they touch the yellow line? It's like you're on a 2-lane blacktop, you're riding on the fog line or maybe in the right tire track where there's no crapola and garbage and gravel. There's not a car anywhere around except the person who's overtaking you, and it's like they are coming by you and they will not move over to give you the space, because it's like, what are they afraid is going to happen if that tire on the left side of their car touches the yellow line? I mean, is it going to like put an ugly yellow mark on it, or what's going to happen? I don't know, but it's like if you drive or ride in Mexico, Europe, South America, it's like they got a fluid and dynamic view of the roadway. People like roll with cooperation. And so you get used to being passed by people who like come by you. They may not slow down very much, but they move way over to give you space because they recognize that if there's nobody coming, who cares if they go across the center line? I mean, I don't know, something happened. Those pilgrims who came here, it's like, I don't know what happened, but somehow it led to some kind of rigidity and penuriousness on the roadway. On page 62, unsafe passing on the right. The old bad law is gone. You probably didn't even know that it was unsafe or that it was illegal to pass on the right in Oregon at one time. It's been changed. You can pass on the right when it's safe to do so. What that means is you come up to a line of stopped cars and nobody's got their right turn signal on, there's no bike lane, you're just like sharing the same lane. You don't have to stay back behind the, the exhaust. You can roll up alongside. But if somebody's got a right turn signal on and you're passing on the right and you get bumped, you're probably going to be the one who's found to be at blame, because your ability to pass safely on the right evaporates if there's clearly a situation going on where you should know that it's like going to be a situation where that could completely evaporate on you in a second. So you can't pass on the right in dangerous circumstances, but you knew that anyway. Another important one is page 63. 811.440 lists when motorists may operate on a bike lane. And it's just what you know. They're not like trespassers. They can operate on the bike lane as long as they first yield to you. They can make a turn, they can pass over the bike lane to go and park, but they can't cut you off. They must first yield to you before they go on the bike lane. It's not a novel concept, it's that way with every lane. On page 64, if you didn't know, now you know, a long time ago, car dooring bicyclists became illegal. What's the first thing that a motorist says when they car door a bicyclist? What the hell, you rode right into my car door, my Mercedes, and look, you're bleeding on my carpet, and weren't you paying attention? What'd you do? I can't believe you did this. Well, the thing, I mean, come on. Fact is, you're not supposed to open a car door if it interferes with bicycle traffic. We're talking about making a video that shows our bicycle dream, which is that you like get doored, you almost stop, your bike just taps the car door flies off of its hinges, goes 200 feet down the road, and then it explodes. And then you look at the car driver and you say, "Oh, I'm sorry, your door. Oh well, I couldn't stop. I guess you violated the law." But the fact is that when you do hit the car door and land in the driver's lap, at least you can have the consolation that you were in the legal right. It is completely and totally illegal to open a car door when a motorist or a bicycle or a pedestrian is coming. And the fact is that what has happened to the American male and female somehow is that in the course of history, as we've like developed servo mechanisms and electric motors and all this electronic assistance, we've actually lost our cervical range of motion. And so what has happened is that humans can't turn their heads like they used to. When the saber-toothed tiger was coming from behind, we could turn and look. But now we can't turn and look anymore. So to make it so we don't have to turn and look, because apparently we can't anymore, we have inside and outside rear view mirrors. But the fact is that rear view mirrors in cars are not enough to make it so that a motorist or a truck driver can ever look in the mirrors, see nobody, and say, "Oh, well, I guess it's okay. I can open my car door or I can change lanes." You've got to do a shoulder check each and every time. Of course, you know that, but they don't. So you have to be prepared for the fact that the human race has now entered a new phase, and you cannot trust humans to either be willing or able to turn their heads on their shoulders and look behind them. It's a sad fact, and I don't know what to do about it. But the situation is that it's getting worse. It's not getting better. And I guess what we have to do is just somehow train people to just, maybe we need like, red light yoga. What we're going to do is we're going to have red light yoga in Portland. Everybody red light. Okay, everybody, left. Okay, everybody, right. Okay, it's green now. Everybody go. And maybe we can, kind of get it back. I don't know, but I think it's maybe too late for most people. But you can let drivers know anytime you talk to them that they've got to learn and do a shoulder check. ORS 814.410, unfortunately, is one of those pitfalls that I told you about. It says that while we can ride on the sidewalk, in paragraph 2, it says that we must give an audible warning to a pedestrian when we pass them. And pedestrians on sidewalks are afraid of us. If you go, I mean, it's like, this is one of the downsides of being part of the bicycle revolution.